Let the heavenly angels sing. Oh, thank you very much. Lovely ladies. Hello, my name's Chris Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facebook Live. Oh, cold, isn't it? Hey, oh, I'll get stuck straight into it. But first, I have to do a cheerio and a farewell to one Tom Fowler, the bass player for Frank Zappa. I was doing Ruth Underwood and then Ed Mann, and now it's Tom Fowler. And what I have to do now is quickly talk about Mr. Fowler, the bass player for Roxy and Elsewhere, and many other Frank Zappa kind of tidbits. Tom Fowler, Thomas W. Fowler, June 10, 1951 to July the 2nd, 2024, just the other day, was an American bass guitarist and musician born in Salt Lake City, Utah. He started playing the violin at age 6 before picking up the upright bass and finally electric bass at age 16. He had played with It's a Beautiful Day, Frank Zappa, the Mothers of Invention, Jean-Luc Ponty, who also played with Frank, Ray Charles, Steve Hackett, and many others. He had 4 brothers, including trombonist Bruce and trumpeter Walt Fowler, who also played with Zappa. Oh, so farewell, Tom. There you go. All right. Oh, just the last month. I mean, you got Ruth. She's still with us, Ruth Underwood, and all that. But then Ed Mann and then Tom Fowler. And there was a picture posted just the other day of the alumni, the Zappa alumni, the people who played with Frank Zappa just the other day, or just the other year. And it was posted just the other day. And they're going, wow, bloody hell. There you go. I wanted to just get that in quickly because that's part of what this show is all about. Now, carrying right along, from last week's show, which was 20 beats in 20 minutes, I got there, sort of, and all that. I thought I'd take one little tidbit of what I did and add to it tonight. And it's things I've done before, but I want to call tonight's show Connections. You got to get connected. And what that means, there's a couple of things. And what it is when you're actually playing things, you can tell that I'm doing this little patch here. 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, but I'm playing 4/4. And what the common connection is just that. Quavers, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what I'd like to do here is talk about this and then working different things. Now, that's called a polymeter because the guitar patch that I've got there is in 3 and I'm playing in 4, you see. So it comes around, you just do times tables. All my students get perplexed when I say, oh, well, where's the result? And they go, what is that? And I say, it's 4 times 3. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's 4 times 3. It's just a maths class, but in music, 12. It comes around, you see, and that's what happens. And essentially, one of the things that is the common denominator is the rate. And this is quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you overlay the 2. Now what happens is that's one thing when you're dealing with time signatures like that. Okay, so there's like 3/4 and then there's 4/4 underneath, or vice versa, whatever it is. It's called a polymeter, not a polyrhythm. That's a different thing, you see. And so what happens is that when you're getting things like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, I'll go back to 4/4. What happens then is you got this. And now I'd like to call it slow, medium and fast. I touched on it last week, but I'm going to take it a step further. Now when you've got the quaver, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and whatever it might be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, you now have a rate of play. Now if I'm going to do minims, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and half time. There's that still ticking away, same speed. Rock beat like I did before. And boom. The rate is now crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get it? Got it? Good.
Got it. Good.
And there you have that. Now if I'm keeping on going, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and cut time, which I talked about. Now that's my springboard for tonight, because I did it last week. So there is half time, normal time. Ta-da! There you go. I've got the Celtic harp. I'm feeling a bit Celtic here. And the patch is C Mixolydian mode. So it fits in with the lovely ladies over there of the Air app developed by Brian Eno. There you go. And what you have now is a rate of play. You see, there's that. So you can get 3 speeds just from that. But yet there's more. Bring out the steak knives. There you go. Now what happens is when you're dealing with this kind of business, you can also do this with changing pulses and changing the time signature. So if I've got this at 4/4, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So it's 12/8 because you're taking 4/4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you wanted to, you could call it 8/8. Think about dancers. They don't go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when they're doing their dance moves to a piece of music in 4/4, they're going 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, they don't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, sort of thing. And I don't know. The pelvic thrust might come in on 6. Who knows? Depends on the tune. Spelled with a CH. Tune. Get it, got it, good.
Get it,
1, 2,
got
3,
it,
4,
good.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 and back to 4/4 and 12/8 and see? There's that. 4. They're triplets. So what goes on? I might take them out just for a little bit. I like them. I'd like to keep them in, but it's the one note. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. That stays the same, man. 1 back to quavers. Now, what am I trying to say? What's going on is now we have a line which is the rock beat. And what happens is if you keep the hi-hat the same and change the time signature to 12/8, you're going to get a slower sounding beat. If you do the rock beat, but then you write them out as triplets, like a triplet blues beat, like 1 and a 2, ostensibly, physically, it's the same as a 12/8 blues beat. However, against the 4/4, the hi-hat is going to be a bit quicker. You're going from 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Slow, medium and fast. That's really what the show's about tonight, is things that are slow, medium and fast within the pulse and the rate. You get the idea there? You getting it? Cool.
You get it? Got it.
So that's what starts to happen. Connections. You're connecting things together. Now, we lovingly here in the Melbourne Musos studio lovingly call it the fishing song, and it just caught a trout, pulled it out. Suspicious Minds, Elvis Presley. Now, I did touch on this very, very quickly last week, but I thought, why not make it a whole thing with continuity? Make it like a lesson plan. You know, when you are doing rates of play, time signatures, polyrhythms, polymeters and stuff, you don't sort of go, oh yeah, here's your half-hour lesson, and there it is. You won't get anywhere. This is the kind of stuff of a whole semester in college. So that's why I'll try and keep the continuity on places like this, if you know what I mean. Get it? Good. Let me. Oldie but good. So what happens is that's what you've got. And the whole idea is keeping that going all the time. See? And that's what goes on with that little... Yeah. And of course I'm putting in little ghost notes and things like that. And that's what you have. So what happens now is that when you've got these kinds of things, so far I've done 3 speeds. So what happens is when you're dealing with, from a straight up rock beat kind of basis, you can have half time, normal time, cut time, being cut common time. Do you want me to go through it again? What happens is that you halve the value of all the notes. You see, so instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Doubles the speed, you see. Double time, that's what it is. And now I've done the second bit, which isn't explained quite so much. I've sort of found out in my travels, is that the difference between a 12/8 blues beat, when someone says, oh, let's play a blues, okay, 12-bar blues, no worries, okay. And a lot of people call it 6/8, but it really isn't. But I let people go. People have their way of communicating with each other. But what happens is that when you're dealing with stuff like this, it's good to know your business, because if you are going to do the fish song, Suspicious Minds, there's the breakdown bit, which goes into I love you, baby, 12/8, you know, that kind of thing. Although it isn't exactly sort of as I said last week, breakdown one. I love you, baby. Come back. Let's go fishing together. Pretty much, there's a running tempo, and you're doing sort of 3 things. There's the... Then you got the... And then... And it's pretty much all based on what I've just said. You see? There you go. Now, you can do that with lots of other things too. I mean, if we go down the land of shuffles, you've got your... Half-time shuffle is a normal shuffle here. you go. So you've got a halftime shuffle, the same as same kind of principles. Now, once again, I did this last week, but very quickly because it was 20 beats in 20 minutes. But the real thing that I'm talking about tonight is the correlation of the pulses of the thing. If you're going half time to normal time, and within one song, you know, I probably one song as far as just slow, medium, and fast, and going up and down like you're on a roller coaster ride, but yet the pulse is the same all the way through, is Disposable Heroes by Metallica off the Master of Puppets album. And that's what you've got. It's just you're going up and down and round. It's incredible. I really like it, and it's got the same pulse all the way through. Yet, double time. Just have a listen to it. That's, you know, wow. There you go. Anyway, there you go. So there's your shuffles. Now, one of the things that happens is that you could have the shuffle. But there's a certain point where the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and it's like, oh, my right arm, you know, the wrist's falling off, mate. All that. So most people would go to just nothing wrong with that. But if you're really going to go down the track of some of the Celtic business, which is why I've got the Celtic harp and things like that. There we go. The rolling shuffle. So what you've got is a triplet now, if you want to. You can rewrite it into 6/8, a la an Irish jig, and you can have 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1. There's your triplets, or you could treat it like 6/8 depending on the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because what happens is that when you're dealing with Celtic music and you start to rock it all up, you know, get a real rock thing like Flogging Molly and, you know, the new Dubliners and all that, as distinct from the old Dubliners, or that, you know, sort of thing. When you're adapting Irish jigs, especially to rock and roll, to rock, the triplets are terrific. 1 and 2. You get a nice little flick on your 2 and 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 4. And then you put it down here and put a bass drum on 1, so it'd be 1 and 2. And that way, by the time your shuffle starts going a bit quick, you can actually just play a bit of that. Hoi! I'll take them out again for a second just to explain that. Got a paint there, yeah. Oh, there it is. And there's your 3 kinds of shuffles now. You've got a half-time shuffle, a normal shuffle, and if you're going to push it a bit, you've got your rolling shuffle, you see. And that's what goes on there. But what starts to happen is that you've got that going, and then it fits in beautifully with your any of your Celtic Irish jig-based tunes, you know, things like the Rakes of Kildare or something like that. And then when you rock it up like so, it really does have the feeling of you're taking on the drum kit version of a bar-on sort of thing. That's why I've got this with the tipper. And there it is. So there's a kind of a 3 things. And always remember, when you're doing things like a rolling shuffle, there's a chap by the name of Lee Kerslake. A lot of people might know that he's the first drummer with Ozzy after he left Sabbath with Randy Rhoads and all that, and he was on the first couple of albums. But previous to that, he was the drummer for Uriah Heep, and they loved the rolling shuffle. Wacko! They were fantastic. And he was great at that. And the kind of feel is very much like John Farnham's and Little River Band's "This Time I'm Playing to Win." There you go. And do you remember Jimmy Barnes's "Lay Down Your Guns and Surrender"? It's got that same that kind of thing there. So that's that little business there. Now, while I've got you, the last few minutes of the show, I'm going to go over to my mallets now. And the same kind of thing starts to happen when you're doing connections between your rudiments and doing different things. Now, one of the things, there's a connection between your roughs and rolls, and very loosely speaking, the word rough, R-U-F-F, can be a bit confusing because it's used in a couple of different ways. But in the most basic of ways, a rough is any number of strokes played with single taps. So if you got a 5-stroke rough, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you went to double tap those notes, okay, the 5-stroke rough is therefore connected to a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. You see? So you've got, I'll do it with 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you double. So your 3-stroke rough is connected to your 5-stroke roll. And a roll in this context, you see, they've got the same names used for a couple of different things, which makes it a little bit confusing. But what goes on with that is that if you're doing 1, 2, 3 as a rough, if you double it, it's now a 5-stroke roll. There's the connection. You see? Get it? Got it? Good. Oh!
Get it? Got it. Good.
So when you're doing little things, I loosely call them little curls. Same flow, wax on, wax off. You get it?
You get it?
Cool.
Got it. Good.
There it is. I better start thinking about wrapping up the show, but and then with that, you can start to have notes within notes is something that I often say in a slightly non-technical way. Now, what I've done is I've taken things tonight and sort of taken them like I've started off with just connecting things, like so slow, medium, and fast is one thing, and then connections where you can have, you know, like a rough, and then it turns into its roll, you know, sort of thing. And what happens then is that you can start to take these kind of rudimental things and start to apply them around the kit in different ways. Now, if I go all the way back to what I was starting with the hi-hat, like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or any count, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it might be, I could do this. And then the left hand, single stroke, but double. Now that's what you hear with John Henry Bonham with his, you know. Now when I'm doing, notice it's one and a two and a three and a four and a one and a two and a three and a double. There you go. Now what happens there, finish off the last little thing, but you can apply it to lots of different things, you see. And what happens is you can start off with the bass note. There's that. They're onesies. Twosies. Is that even a word? Threesies. Now, if you're doing a triplet very quickly, one and a two and a three and a four and a one and a two. They're now sextuplets. Four and a one and a two and a three. If you tripletize it, one and a two and a three, which is good old right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. You're doing three groups. One and a two and a non-uplets. They're nines. Then if you throw in the right hand with a double, one and a two and a three and a four and a... They're 12. I call them dozen uplets, but they're a do-deca-dica-duca-dica-ducka tuplet something. One of my students told me once, because he learnt it that day in maths at school, and I've forgotten the name. Do-deca-dica-duca. Something. There it is. Oh, I better get a wriggle on here. So what I've gone over here is slow, medium and fast in 3 speeds, 12/8 versus triplets, the shuffles into the rolling shuffle, roughs to rolls and their corresponding. There's a 3-stroke rough and then a 3-stroke roll, but funnily enough, a 3-stroke rough is more equivalent to a 5-stroke roll because you're going from the flow of a single to the flow of a double. So you might have one and a two, yeah.
Got it, good, get it, 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 got it,
and then
get it, got it, good, 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 get it, got it, good.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and Molly Vito. My name is Quinlan. I'll have this up 4 cameras tomorrow. Channel 31 in about 10 days. Oh! Love ya. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, Marley, he's over there. Let's go have a beer. Hey.
Get it, got it, good.